Hey everybody, this is Dan from the Nerd Punch crew, bringing you a video. Haven't done one in a while, but wanted to start doing some new videos for you guys. This will be over Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. This is a Square Enix copyrighted all video, everything like that, so just wanted to throw that out there, just in case we needed to give that information right up front. I will be bringing this, a few videos from this, kind of going over the basics of getting into the game. It is a daunting task to get into an MMO, and MMOs are one of my favorite genres. I've been playing them for years, and I truly enjoy them. But they can be very hard. There's a large learning curve right at the beginning of these, and sometimes that can scare people off. So I kind of wanted to give basics of everything in the game, so you would kind of have a broader idea of what you're getting into before you start, so that you can enjoy the content more once you're in there. If you have a strong understanding of just the basic simple things of getting through menus, things like that, it makes the game more enjoyable because you don't have to worry about that as much. So this is kind of what these few videos will be about. This is my main character, Daros Windrunner. I am a Lalafell, and it is just one of the races within Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn. And to go ahead and throw this up front too, you'll notice the UI, if you've played this game, is different from other the default UI that comes with the game. Within this game, you are able to move everything around. You can go to the hub layout here, and you are able to change and move every bar, everything that you want to move to wherever you want it to be. So this is kind of how I have it laid out. I have it saved. So when you first come in and you don't see it exactly like this, don't be nervous. It's okay. You can move everything around. I like to keep the attack, my targeted bar here at the bottom. It usually sits up here at the top. I moved my quests over to this side. They used to be here. My party selection goes in this square here, but I'm not in a party, so you can't see that. But those are just basic things I've moved around to make it easier for me to keep track of things when I'm in battle, or just moving around things like that. Added new bars so I can have all these different abilities. So that is why the UI will look different from the default. So don't be scared when you come in. You're able to move everything around as you see fit to make it more comfortable for you once you get into the game. So this is Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. It is a remake of Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn 1.0, which had a lot of major issues. They pulled it, brought it back up. This is 2.0. It's actually up to 2.3 now. They've had 3 patches with it. It's been out for almost a year, and it is one of my favorite games right now. I thoroughly enjoy it. It has a lot of content, a lot of things for you to do, a lot of places for you to go explore. It really is robust, and I think everyone should give it a shot. It is a lot of fun to try. So, without further ado, let's get into some stuff and take a look at some things. So, first of all, when you first enter the game, you will have a ride into town, to whichever town you're going to, depending on your class. You will go into your town. The 3 major cities are Gridania, Ul'dah, and Limsa. These are the 3 major cities, and each of them have guilds for specific classes, depending on what you've chosen. Once you arrive there, you will be asked to go to the Adventurers Guild. You will be guided there, but here in Gridania, that place will be located here in this bar area in the Carline Canopy, and you will speak with Mother Nione. I'm probably ruining that name. Nione. You will speak with her. She is the proprietor for the Adventurers Guild here in this town. You will go to the Quicksand, which is a bar in Ul'dah, and then in Limsa is another bar, and it's like the Drunken or Sunken Tavern or something. I never can remember the name of the place, but you will be directed there by an NPC on a quest to go speak with them. They will give you your starting quests in the main scenario to go through. Most of the time they'll explain everything to you. You'll have a lot of tooltips popping up about different things that you're doing, things like that, and they'll want you to go around town and just kind of pick up odd-end quests and do odd-end things. I was going to do this with a brand new character, but with a brand new character, a lot of things that are in these lists within the main menu here are not open for a new character, so it's easier for me to go with a character that has been in the game for a while, so I can explain things a little bit better for you. Let's go over the basics of the UI that I've got laid out here. different things. Let's talk about that first. So first of all, you see action bars here. You will start with just 2. You can add a 3rd, 4th, 5th, whichever you want, and stack them. You can resize these, everything like that. And these are all your abilities. And as you scroll over, it will give you tool tips as to what that ability does and kind of explain things to you. You will not have as many as I have. This is just all the stuff that I have acquired up to level 50, but you will be able to look at the abilities of that specific profession and build out your bars the way you see fit and how you want them laid out. So you will start with 2 here, and then you can add more bars as it goes. I can do it with 3 here, and then I usually put a starter bar over here that has all the odd and end things that I do over to the side, and then of course all the classes that you can be. In Final Fantasy XIV, you do not have to create new characters to be a different class. Your one character that you can create can be all the classes and all the jobs, which is really good because you don't have to worry about having a ton of characters. If you want to try the different races and looks, that's fine too, but this is just a way to, you can do everything with one person. So take some time in the character creation, build out a character that you really like, and that can be your main person for the entirety of you playing the game. So we discussed the action bar. Right underneath here is your health bar. You have your HP, your healing, your mana points, which is right here, or magic points, and then you have your TP. TP is used by most of the Disciples of War. So you have Disciples of War and Disciples of Magic as your combat classes. Disciples of War will usually use TP, and that will be their main ability. This is going to be their main resource right here. They will, on occasion, use MP. I know with the Bard, there are spells here that the songs that I play, they eat away at my mana and take that. I know the Paladin has spells that he uses, so he has to use MP along with TP. So some of them will use MP and right along with it, but the majority of the time TP is what you're looking at, and you can tell that a specific ability uses TP by the little number underneath there. So 70, 60, 80, 80. These 3 here, these are all AoEs. These all have higher TP burning abilities there. But those are the ones that will use your TP. Your TP will regenerate in combat, and there are abilities that you can get, like Invigorate from the Dragoon Lancer, that will just restore TP back to you. So just keep an eye on your abilities, what they are. It usually is not that big of a deal. You usually will not run out, especially when you get your rotations down. You will not find yourself where you're hurting really bad on TP. Sometimes when you do a lot of AoE, which I do in a lot of groups, that will eat up the TP faster, but out of combat, this will build up even faster than when in combat, so you're going to be able to get it back quickly. It's not going to be a resource that you really have to build up past, well, it can't build up past 1,000, but you won't need it to. You won't need to go any higher. Right underneath that is your experience bar. You can see it's blued out. That's because I've got rested all the way built up through this. It tells you how much XP until you hit your next level. It tells you what class you are and what level you are. And the moon there says you're in a rested area, so you can earn rested XP. So anytime you're in a major city, this little moon will be next to it. Or if you're in your company housing or things like that, that right there will say, hey, you're resting, so you're gaining rested experience, so you're going to get bonuses to your experience. So we've seen that area there where we go into the Adventurers Guild. Let's go on up and let's take a look up here. Oh, I still haven't finished going over the UI. So next up is quests. These are all the quests that you have. This is things that you're going to track throughout the game. To get to them, you can go to this exclamation point that says duty. Click that. It's going to bring up a bunch of options, but the one you want to go to is journal. Under journal lists all the quests that you have currently active. You can go to a map layout, so I can click that and see a map layout of a specific thing that I need to go find. And I'll know to go to this map, and I can find out where I'm supposed to go, things like that. And I can close that out. I can go over here to Corpse Groom, and I can hit map again. Unable to open the map. That's great. We go here, betrothal, so it knows I'm in Lenosia. It knows it's in Eastern Lenosia. And it's right down here next to Blood Shores where I'm going to go to do that quest. It tells me exactly where the quest is. Really nice, very handy, things like that. So it's a very cool thing to have. And this is going to list them all out. You can keep track of them on the bar. You can click them to have them removed, or it'll bring them up on the bar and unclick, and that'll take it off the bar. Things like that. It's going to track so many quests automatically up here anyways, up to 6. So we close that out. That is our quests. Those are the things, those are our objectives. Over here, of course, you have your mini-map. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You have a little gear here to lock the mini-map, so it's just you turning. So you don't have to worry about the map turning. So it shows your direction, which is nice to have. It also has the day of the time of day, which is going to be clear. The sun moving around it is your time of day, north, south, east, west. It also shows your coordinates on the bottom here, 12 and 12. So those are kind of just some odd things. Here you have your what you're sending, what you're receiving. This right here is your local time. It shows you what time it is in the daytime. So very simple things there. Let's go over here. You have your chat windows. So this is the basic chat here. You can create new chat windows. This one I use for just party chat, whispers, free company chat, link shelves, things like that all come through here, special messages. This here is just general chat. You can switch it over to battle, so you can see combat things, you can see events and things like that within it. You can set these to all different windows. You can pull them out from each other. You can have a ton of chats just lined right here of all these different things. It's not a big deal. You're allowed to open up and do whatever you'd like. Here you have the guild that I am carrying. That's the money, the currency within the game is guild, so that's how much I'm carrying on my character. This right here is your inventory. It's shown in a grid. You have 4 slots within that right here, and that shows each of these black spots shows an empty slot. So it shows I have my 4th bag is very empty, and my 2nd bag has a few open slots as well. When it's red, that means it's stacked to its highest amount. Nothing else can stack on top of that. So these are specific things. I can't put anything else with those. And then you go to tab 1 and light the Phoenix down right there. That's all it can hold is just 1. But you'll notice some things can stack higher, 33, 36. You can stack up to 99 on most things within here, depending on what it is. And they're mostly crafting materials, things like that. Finally, the last tab here, or next to last tab, is the crystals. These are all the crystals that you own. Crystals are used for crafting a lot, so you need to make sure you have a lot of them. They're easy to earn. And some of the gathering professions are easy to collect them. And then finally, you have key items, and these will be items you have for quests, things like that. They'll all be stationed in there. So it keeps everything separate for you, so you don't have everything crowding into one space. The last inventory I'd like to show you is underneath your character, and it's going to be the armory chest. Now this one is different from your regular inventory for the simple fact that the inventory here shows, just odd end things, but I don't have any gear in here, which is really nice, so it's not taking up space with gear. I can go over here now in my armory chest. This shows all the gear I have. So I have tons of chest pieces, hats, boots, pants, belt, and this is for all gear slots on the character, weapons, things like that. Because you're able to do so many jobs, you have to keep a large amount of gear with your character, and therefore it's going to take up a lot of spaces. So you can't have your inventory bogged down with that. You need to have its own spot for it, and that's what the armory is for. That's where all that is kept. Alright, so to get to either one of these through the menu, all you need to do is go down here to character, and you can get to the armory chest, and you can get to inventory. If you just want to click your inventory, you just have to click the little grid, and that's all you have to do, and you'll bring it right into it. So it's very simple, very easy to maneuver to. Nothing real difficult. The last one here, this tall one that it looks like, that is your gear slots. That is your character sheet. So you can see all the things I have on my character. You're able to manipulate your character within here in the photo. You see all the gear. Each piece of gear will show what it is. If it's a unique item, it'll show the item level right above, like arch and bard there. It shows the item level of that item. Right here you'll notice you have an average item level, so this is to dictate if you can get into specific raids or not. This will be what everybody looks for. It says my item level is 86, I'm able to get into a lot of things, so that's really nice. But we'll get into the character sheet a little bit later because there's a lot of tabs within here to see different things, but that's kind of the gist from the UI point of view. You just click that brings up your character sheet. Again, you can get to it here just by going here or hitting C, but you can just click the grid and that pulls it right up. So that covers that. We covered that. We covered these. We covered the menu. That. Down here are just more added bars for more abilities that I have, and we'll get into the classes here soon, and we'll change that around. But let's take a walk around Gridania for a second. I want to show you some things around here. Gridania is the main city I started in. It is where our free company is attached to the Twin Adders, which is the Grand Company here. But you'll start down here on the road. You'll go into the canopy there and start your adventures. Within the city, it's a large area. So as you see on the minimap, you have the Chocobo Keep. You can talk to the Chocobo Keep person. Once you speak with them, they will allow you to rent Chocobos from them at a specific level. So you can rent Chocobos to get from town to town, and it's so much money for so many minutes on that Chocobo. Here is the Aetherite. This is the large crystal that lets me teleport to this zone. So I have to attune myself to it, and to attune myself to it, I click on it. Now, I've already attuned myself to it, so I don't need to. But what it also does is open up the Ethernet, all right? And I'll explain the Ethernet here. Ethernet is kind of a way to travel around town. So say I pulled up my menu, and let's bring this up a bit because I want to show you guys. And I'm going to move around town. I can go to the Ethernet here, and what that does is it shows me all these little spots around town that I can get to because I've attuned myself to them. Now, attuning to it is, see this little crystal here, this Ethernet shard. That is something I attune to within the city. Once I attune to that, that becomes part of my Ethernet within the city. So now I can jump straight out there to the Archer's Guild instead of running all the way out there. Makes things a whole lot easier. I just zip in, zip out, and I can go back to it and then jump back to this crystal all I want. So let's try that. Let's hit the Archer's Guild. That's going to take us off screen for a second. And it's going to load in, and boom, now I'm out here at the Archer's Guild because I use the Ethernet within the city. I can maneuver out here to this. So I want to get back to the main part of the city. I click this again. I can go to Grenadia's Aetherite Plaza, and that's going to take me right back to the main plaza I was just in. And now we're right back here, and we can see everything. Very simple to use, very easy to use. And it's just one of those things that you need to know because it'll help you out a lot when you first start this game. Maneuvering around towns and things like that can be difficult. So let's set the map back. There we go. So we'll keep that up just a little bit. But it has points of interest, all these little dots and things like that. Kind of tells you where things are. You're going to move down the bag, show, shops, things like that. And the exclamation points are quests that you can do. So we're moving around. These people have shops. These are the bags that we saw right over here. If we keep going around this way, we're coming up. As you can see, the game is gorgeous. It's very beautiful all the way through it. You get over here, and you're now at the Twin Adders Keep. This is a grand company which will open up during your questing within the game. So let's kind of back off a little. We can kind of see that a little bit bigger, that big town hall there. So we move around and we got more people. All the blue named people that are running around are also just regular players. Green named people are NPCs. If you see an orange named player, that is somebody that's in our free company and one of my friends on my friends list. So there you go. That's kind of a gist of how the town is and how it works. Now, Grenania is split into two halves. You have New Grenania and Old Grenania. So let's run over here and we're going to click Sprint, which every class has a sprint button. And we're going to click that, we're going to go through these points. And it's just a load area, load into Old Grenania and another half of the city. And within Old Grenania, you see more Aetherites sitting around. You have one here, here, here. So I can jump to all these points of interest because it makes things easier for me to get around town, which is really, really cool. It's just nice to have that ability. It's just kind of like its inner subway system within the city. You just hit the Aetherite and you go. This is actually the start of the Conjurers area. The Conjurers all begin in this zone here. This is the Conjurers Guild. But that's kind of the gist of it there on the city part. You kind of see all these things. Now, the last thing I want to show you about the towns is we're going to go over to the market board and we're going to show you where that's located at. All the shop keeps, all that stuff within Grenania. So, we're going to go here to the Aetherite shard. I can't click on it. We're going to go to this shard right over here. And we're going to take a jump and we're going to go over to the kind of the market area. This is what I like to call it. So we're going to marketing area. So, we're going to go in front of the Leather Workers Guild. That's the closest one to it, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I hit the right one. See, it only takes a second. Boom, I'm already across here. And we're going to go into kind of the market. This is you'll see a lot of NPC salespeople in here. As you can see by the mini-map, there's lots of bags, there's lots of salespeople, things like that. So we come in here, zoom in a little bit, and within this place are all these salesmen, and they're selling different things. Now that's just for basic stuff starting out. You need to buy specific things from these people because you're not going to have the money to get the good stuff yet. And so you can talk to all these people, the battle supplier, things like that. Let's see here, independent jewelers, so they're going to sell jewels, and they sell a variety of things. So you can click on them, and it kind of tells you things that you go through and see what the levels are of everything, and pick what you need to go on about your business, and tells the price and how many you have at the time, if you have any, right there. So it kind of lists your money at the top. You can buy back, you can sell to these just by opening this up. You can go to everything in your inventory. Let's see what I have. A lot of. I don't want to get rid of anything. I'm kind of a pat rack, so I have tons of crap that I just don't get rid of, which is probably not good. like this stuff. I don't need this anymore, so I'm gonna sell that. I'm gonna sell that because I bought these. They're not what I need. So we sell both those pieces because they're Riviera housing stuff. That's for free company housing. I'll explain that later. But you can do that. You can also open up your armory chest, and in your armory chest you can pick things out of here to sell and get rid of. So we close that out, and that's with any of them. So you can sell and you can buy. But that's not the main thing we want to tell you. After a while, once you get a retainer, you can come to these summoning bells, and you'll be able to get 2 retainers that you're able to keep with you. One retainer, let's call her in. This I'll just click here. And it kind of gives you a bunch of stuff to do. We're not going to go into it right now, but there's all kinds of things that you can do with a retainer. It's kind of like your bank, so you can keep stuff there. In here, you have another retainer bell, or over here, the summoning bell, and then you have the market boards, and that is the auction house of the game. So I can come here and I can click on the market board, and I can select my class. What do I want to look at? I want to look at Bard. So we go here. And you see all this genius Mongol boat, which I almost had the other day. I really wanted that because I like looking at it. And all these different things. And you can see what people are selling. A lot of this is crafted things that people have put up here, which is really cool. And you can purchase this stuff. And it's really, really nice. So you go here. This is usually made offhand. Then you go to armor. Then these are items for all the crafted stuff. So carpentry, we want to go to lumber, you can pick lumber here, and then housing down at the bottom. Or you can type in a specific name of an item and it'll pull it up here. So let's do glazed nut. Oh, thank goodness. These glazed nuts, they sell for almost 300K. It's a grown item in a garden, and they're needed for some higher up crafting things. So there you go. So you have the glazed nuts. So you can do a specific item, or you can just randomly just go down here and say, all right, I need carpentry stuff, so boom, I go into carpentry stuff. And I can go through and see everything under here for wood, things like that. So these are all planks of wood, created, crafted, all that stuff. So there you go. That's kind of how the market board works. So there, in every town, there is going to be an area like this, where it's a large market, a lot of salespeople, there's market boards, there's summoning bells. So it's kind of a big area for market work and working on your crafting and things like that. Every town has one of these. Limenza does, and Ul'dah does. So make sure you go to them. Every one of them have the Aether shard, or the Aethernet shards. Make sure you click on every one you see and attune to them. Once you click on it and attune to it, it'll take a second. You'll see a progress bar, and that'll attune it to you and get that done. And then everyone will have a major crystal, the Aetherite, which we will go back to. Will have a major crystal which allows you to fast travel to that spot. You are now able to teleport to that crystal. So that's kind of the gist of the traveling part. So those are the main things you will always see in the cities. Now each city will also have guilds. So you will have in Gridania, we have the Conjurers, we have the Lancers, and we have the Leatherworkers, Carpenters, and Archers are the 5 guilds that start here. I think I named all 5 of the right ones. You know, those all start in this area. So you will be here till probably about level 15 in your storyline. Once you are able to get on the airship and start traveling, that's when you will branch out to the other cities. But it takes up to about level 15 before you can start doing that. Then you can start doing the dungeons. That's when dungeons open up and things like that. A lot of the game opens up at level 15. But you can go to those early. If you want to get a chocobo and just run through zones, you're able to do that. But in each city, just remember, get the Aether shards for the Aethernet shards so you can fast travel around town. Make sure you attune to the big Aetherite crystals in every town or city that you're in. And make sure that you know where the market boards are and the shopping centers are within each town. So, and the Adventurers Guilds. The Adventurers Guilds are cool because every one of them will have an inn, which is right next to it, and you always go in the inn and stay in the inn, which is really, really neat. It makes it easier. It's a good resting area. Before, you didn't have rested just standing in town. You had to go into an inn. So they're always good. And you'll always find the arms vendor. After, I think it's level 10, things will start to deteriorate. You will start taking damage on gear. You will have to start repairing. So make sure that you're repairing on a steady basis as you go through it. It's just something that happens in the game. It's a money sink, and it's part of it. And you just have to make sure you're just keeping on top of those things. So, we kind of took a look around the city to see kind of what it's like. We took a look at the UI and kind of see what's all on the screen and what you're looking at. We moved around a little bit. We showed you the sprint. We showed you the Adventurers Guild. So we got a gist of the things around us. Next week, or the next video I do, so next week, whether I get to it next week or not, will be about specific things within the menu bar. We will go over the duty finder and the journals. We will go over the logs. We will go over the character sheets and everything within here. We will go over the friends list, and we will go. If you'd like, we can go over system. Just let me know in the comments, things like that, what you guys would like to hear about. But we will go over the very basics of this game, so that when you play it, you have a very comfortable feeling going into it that you know what's going to happen, and you kind of have an idea of everything going on. I appreciate everybody who has watched the video. I thank you for that. Please comment. Please like it. You can come to nerdpunch.com, twitch.tv/nerdpunch when we're streaming, youtube.com/nerdpunch is the channel if you want to subscribe. This again is Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, copyrighted by Square Enix. If there are any issues with it, they can, I just want to make sure everyone knows that it is their copyrighted material. So none of this is mine. I'm just doing the commentary. Please comment, like, subscribe, come by, see our different channels, go to our website, we'd appreciate it, and we're going to be bringing a lot more videos coming soon. I thank you for listening. Hopefully I will have more out for you soon, and until next time, everybody, have a good day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.